Hey everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we've got some more college football. This time we've got Pac-12. We've done SEC and we've done the Big Ten. So now we've got the Pac-12. I have no idea who's in it. So let's have a look. Let's jump in and let's have a look at this one.
Pac-12 is one of college football's biggest conferences, and it has some of the best stadiums in the country.
Oh,
a lot of them are quite
cool.
unique as well. So here are the Pac-12 college football stadiums. Husky Stadium, home of the Washington Huskies.
Oh.
Being located on the shore of Lake Washington and with a view of the distant mountains, including Mount Rainier, it's considered by many to be the most serene setting in college football. Well, perhaps serene isn't the right word, it having the record for being the loudest stadium in college football, so maybe picturesque is a better word. And having the open end of the stadium on the eastern side makes the most of the scenery. It also has the rare
I wonder, what was the decibel reading? Does anybody know? Let me know in the comment section.
Distinction of being a college football stadium that's bigger than an NFL stadium in the same city. Just like Lumen Field, it has some sizable roof canopies. It's quite rare to see that in college football, but Seattle is known for its persistent rain. What a fantastic stadium to start off with.
Yep.
Stanford Stadium, home to Stanford Cardinal. Despite the fact
that is so different compared to that last one. Like, this one's in the middle of the bush. You can hardly even see it. Okay.
There's been a stadium on this site since the 1920s. The one that you see today was built in 2006. The predecessor was a completely different stadium, considerably larger and with a running track around the field. The current design is a simple yet elegant, symmetrical double-tiered structure.
I kind of like the old aqueducts on the left there. It kind of makes it look very Roman. Okay.
I love that it's surrounded by a jungle of trees, certainly better than concrete. And the icing on the cake is this thing that, combined with the palm trees, looks like an ancient Roman aqueduct in northern Africa.
Oh my god. Yep, that's what I thought too. Okay.
Even the video board is the exact same make and model that Julius Caesar had in his living room. You gotta love that attention to detail.
Okay.
Arizona Stadium, home of the Arizona Wildcats. Compared to what we've seen so far, this one is a little more in line with...
Wow, that looks very steep, that one on the left. Ooh, that looks very
typical
steep.
College football stadium. Like a lot of college stadiums, you can clearly see where each expansion has been made. The north end zone being the most recent by the looks of it. It looks pretty good, but it's actually quite unusual. It's not immediately apparent, but there's actually a small roof canopy that protects some spectators from the scorching sun of the Sonoran Desert. Desert! I always do that. I do quite like how every side of the stadium is a little bit different. It's the complete opposite of the last one in that way. Now we leave that stadium in Tucson, Arizona for some California grass. The Rose Bowl to be specific. Home of the UCLA Bruins. Very few stadiums in the world can boast a resume as impressive as...
Don't they call the, is that what they call the, isn't that the Rose Bowl, the final? Maybe I'm completely messing that up. Okay.
The Rose Bowls. Among other things, it's hosted 5 Super Bowls and a World Cup final. Both are pretty much among the top echelon of sporting events. As the name suggests, the Rose Bowl is a bowl stadium and hosts the annual Rose Bowl, which was the first annual football game to be called a bowl. Its simple but elegant design is loosely based off the Yale Bowl. Well, at least it was. It used to have the same sunken design as the Yale Bowl, with the earth coming all the way up to the...
That one's got a weird design, like the corners are right inside the stadium limits. Okay.
Top of the seating bowl.
Okay.
But it's clearly quite different these days.
Get a good view of all the game, though.
I should also mention the rather picturesque view. Marvelous.
Wow.
Rice-Eccles Stadium, home of the Utah Utes. There's a bit of an interesting story with this.
A ute in Australia is a pickup truck, utility, short for ute. short for utility. Okay, I guess it's Utah. Unless they drive Utes, that's the symbol. I don't know.
Although it was originally built in the 1920s, the stadium was completely renovated, well, rebuilt really, in the late 90s to host the 2002 Winter Olympics, opening and closing ceremonies of all things. The Olympic cauldron still remains. Much like the last one, the view is quite enviable. It's become a bit of a saying on this channel now, but every stadium in Utah has a great mountain view.
Has a good view of the mountains.
Other than that, the stadium is fairly standard, but I should mention that the south end zone was just recently expanded, and it looks something like this. They actually had to remove the Olympic cauldron, then bring it back.
Oh, okay.
Autzen Stadium, home of the Oregon Ducks.
Oh,
The exterior...
okay. I remember one of the videos we had, the Oregon Ducks. That's right. Okay.
is a tale of two sides. On the north, it's Yale Bowl-esque with the earth embankment and vegetation. But the southern facade is a different kettle of fish. A very imposing and cutting-edge ground entrance. It's a fairly unique design that these quackheads have come up with. An asymmetrical bowl with seating that's considerably steeper than usual, particularly on the southern side.
Yeah, that's
combined
fairly
with the roof canopy that helps keep sound in, provides for a more intimidating atmosphere. Although they are ducks, how intimidating can they be? Alright. Okay. The University of Oregon is famously the birthplace of Nike. So you'd expect the sporting facilities to be quite good.
I didn't know that.
And they are. But Nike are actually headquartered in Beaverton, which is ironic given that the Ducks' arch rivals are the Oregon State Beavers, who play at Reza Stadium. Once again, having two sizable roof canopies in this part of the world is a welcome addition. I know that the Beavers are black and orange, but the seats seem to be more of a charcoal and orange, which might just be my favorite color combination. The colors of the barbecue. Going through all the college stadiums, you hear about various items that have been buried under the field. A former dog mascot and a bulldozer, for instance. But at this stadium they found something that predates most bulldozers. Mammoth bones. I couldn't ascertain whether it was a wild mammoth or whether they used to be called the Oregon State Mammoths and this was their mascot. Either way, that's kinda cool. As mentioned, the Beavers have a rivalry with the Ducks. And the best thing about that is that the trophy they play for is a platypus. I love that.
Is that true? I don't know. This guy's joking all the time. Obviously, platypus is Australian, but really?
Not just because it's an Australian animal.
Oh, because the beaver and the duck would make a platypus. Gotcha.
But it's basically a cross between a beaver and a duck.
Beaver and a duck. Yeah. Okay.
California Memorial Stadium, home of the California Golden Bears. It's located in a spectacular location at the base of the Berkeley Hills near Strawberry Canyon, with San Francisco Bay not too far away. But it's not just the location that makes this stadium interesting. The all-white, neoclassical facade of the western side looks very elegant, while the eastern side of the stadium is built into the earth. And although it's hard to see, the two sides are actually separate structures. This is due to one peculiar aspect of the stadium's location. There's a freaking fault line running directly onto the field. Yeah, they've even marked it out. Presumably so people don't trip on it and cause an earthquake? I don't know how fault lines work. It has something to do with the space-time continuum. That much I do know. Martin Stadium, home of the Washington State Cougars. It's the smallest stadium in the conference. But that's quite impressive considering the capacity is about the same as the town of Pullman's population. It is such a small place that the PA announcer is actually the mayor of the town. Martin Stadium isn't quite as spectacular as their fellow Washingtonian stadium, There are a lot of
they get a
stadiums
good
with
crowd.
a very similar design. It's a former horseshoe
crowd.
stadium that used to have a running track around the field, hence the rounded end. But some recent renovations have added a modern touch to it. Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, home of the USC Trojans. If any stadium in this conference can rival the history of the Rose Bowl, it's gotta be this one.
Okay.
It's already hosted the Olympics twice and will do for a third time in 2028, making it the first in the world to do so. On top of that, it's been the home of close to 1 million different teams over the years. But only the Trojans were here from the beginning. The stadium recently underwent a renovation that cost over $250 million. But the overall design
What?
has remained more or less the same.
Wow.
It's such an elegant and timeless design, particularly behind the eastern end zone. Mixed with some of the more modern touches that were recently added, makes for a great stadium all round.
Okay.
Sun Devil Stadium, home of the Arizona State Sun Devils. This one is situated in an unusual but beautiful location, between two big buttes.
Wow.
I do like it when they build stadiums in places you wouldn't expect a stadium to be built.
Yeah,
I'm still
wow.
waiting on a stadium in the Grand Canyon. Just like the last one, it also recently underwent a renovation that cost about the same. The stadium itself isn't quite as spectacular as the location, but it still looks pretty good.
But it kind of blends in there really well. Really well. I like that. I like that location. Good use of the location. Okay.
The design's
I like
quite
that.
simple. A single tier seating bowl, an upper deck on either side, and a mini tier of seating in between. And of course, you can always scramble up these buttes and get a pretty good view. Just watch out for the rattlers. Folsom
Colorado.
Field, home of the Colorado Buffaloes.
Okay. Now remember this one with Ralphie come running out. Okay.
Located about a mile above
Okay.
sea level is this absolutely stunning stadium, with an
Wow,
equally
that does
stunning
look
view
good.
of the
Wow.
mountains.
Okay.
The brickwork on the exterior is a little different. It's made up from various shades. It gives it a unique look, and it matches the buildings of the rest of the campus. The roofs in
Oh, yeah,
particular
I
make the
see.
campus, including the stadium, look like an Italian city. Very
Yes,
beautiful.
it does.
Inside the
actually.
stadium, I guess you could say it's a horseshoe design with a few added features. I particularly like this section in the northeastern corner of the stadium.
Oh, what's
You don't
that?
see something like that too often.
What is
It's one of my favorite stadiums, this one. It seems to have a bit of everything.
the mountains impress me because we've got a pretty flat country in Australia, so we don't see mountains like that, especially that close to a city. I like that. I like the outlook of that.
Those
Okay.
were the Pac-12 stadiums.
Oh, that's
if
it.
you
Oh.
enjoyed the video, then why not subscribe? You probably won't regret it. Thanks.
So, the Rose Bowl, I've heard of that. I didn't know it was an actual stadium. I thought it was just the actual competition. I've heard that somewhere, but I didn't know it was an actual stadium. So, obviously, that is one of the oldest, and as you said, you know, one of the one with the most history. So, but the rest of them, you know, they're unique in their own way. Maybe the location, maybe what it's built out of, maybe what actually happens in it as well too. So, like that Ralphie, you know, that really kind of surprised me. You know, running a bison or buffalo, beg your pardon, onto the stadium, you know, into the field. So, you know, it's not all about how the stadium looks; it's how it works, what happens there. You know, what traditions are happening there as well too. So, it all adds to the atmosphere of going to a game. But that one was good. I enjoyed that one. Interesting. They I'm sure he's not pretending when he's saying, you know, he's not lying when he's saying they play for the platypus trophy. Let me know. That would kind of make sense between a beaver and a duck. Let me know if he's pulling our leg. So let me know if you enjoyed that. That was very interesting. We still have a few more conferences to go. So if you have a particular football video you'd like me to react to, let me know in the comment section too. So guys, thank you very much for joining us today. Make sure you stay safe, and I will definitely see you in the next reaction video. Did you enjoy that video? Why not watch another one?